All right. Today's demo, we're gonna do a closed form lid jar, which is something like this right in here. So you can see they throw in one pieces, and then basically I threw it like this. So it's like, you can see it right here. So this gap right here, this gap is using a chopstick that kind of wedge in there. I'll show you how to do it. But because this is a closed form lid jar, we throw in one piece. Therefore, I probably suggest if you can, you have a throwing bed on it. That's easier because then you don't have to recenter everything, you know? So that's advantage. And then once you're done, you can actually have a different foot trimming. You can trim it like a hidden foot. You can trim it like variations of foot right here. So this is what we're gonna do, okay? So instrument is important. First, you wanna make sure you have the bed pin, and you can sell it, you know, you can buy it at Home Depot or anything else. This bed right here, I'm gonna put it down, and supposedly, I heard some professional photographers say, this bed's from Laguna, smooth side and not smooth side. Smooth side supposed to be for porcelain, and then not smooth side for stone. But I said, whatever you like to use it in a way, it will be fine, yeah? So we'll put it down. I'll make sure my surface is clean a little bit. Just to turn on the wheel head. So cleaning it, I'm just gonna run this to it, and letting the wheel do the job for me. Okay, I think I just brought this in. Yes, okay. So this closed form lid jar, and basically I using a 2.5 pound of clay. Okay, we're gonna put it in the middle. I'm gonna go ahead and open it. So this is 2.5 pounds. So I noticed that if you notice this wheel is kind of moving, it's because the wheel head. Sometimes you can buy the fancy chamois to put it underneath. I just run a dry clay across, a little across like that. Hope to stick just a little bit. Yeah. Okay. A little better. Okay. Center. Because this is 2.5 pounds, so I want to do it like a little big closed form lid jar. So 5 step. Center, well open pole shape. Anything that's come from those, okay? So this is centering. I'm gonna make a little well. 2 hand combine, a little drop. I'm gonna go down. I want to have a little thicker foot, so I'm gonna leave about 3/4 inch on the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and open. You see it right here? So I'm gonna have a nice foot right there, and then in the middle right here. How can I tell? How can I tell? How can I tell if it's a 3.5 inch? So 3.25 inch, and that's about an inch. So that's how you tell. So I'm gonna go ahead and compress. Right here. You notice when I compress, I'm from middle drag about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. It's just because I can't compress it this way. It's just run against the direction, right? So I'm gonna do it on my right hand side. That's if I am a right-handed. Wheel is counterclockwise. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna do it like that. Okay? Once I compress, why it's so important to compress? Because wider the surface that you attached on the wheel head, more importantly, you need to make sure your clay align well. That means lay flat well. So I'm gonna do this again one more time. You can see it back and forth a few times. I'm gonna go back to make a little indentation just for fun. Yeah, right there. Okay, now I'm gonna close it. When I close it, I wanna make sure my clay inside is not dry because it's gonna be a closed form. That means I can't wipe them, right? So I'm gonna throw from the outside. I'm gonna throw from the outside, center well open. What I'm doing right now is pull. So I'm pulling, and because I'm doing the closed form, yes, unlike making bowl, I pull the outside. Unlike making vase, I pull straight. Now I'm pulling a little more towards the middle. Center. You see? I'm gonna do it again. I wanna pull as much as I can from the bottom, because that's where all the juice come from. Does it look like a cup? 5 steps. Center well open pull, right? So I get a little 3-pole right here. I look at the clay on the bottom. You're doing one of these lizard moves. Inside, outside, you look at it. That looks pretty good. Before I start shaping, I want to compress my clay a little bit. So I'm going to do this. Remember, if you're going to make a cup, does that look like a cup? Yes, it looks like a cup. So what I'm going to do is, now we want to make a closed form. So I'm going to do it again using a soft rib. Actually, I'm going to color it. I'm going to take this. I'm going to slowly go in. Yes? Every time you go in, if your wheel too slow, it's just going to get uneven. You see it? One more time. See right here? If my wheel too slow and I try to bring it in, it's just going to be uneven. So you need to use a centrifugal force of the wheel help you to do it by speed up the wheel. If you notice, I'm always speed up the wheel when I'm closing. Yes? I'm going to do that again one more time. Right here. And then it depends, I'm putting my fingers directly underneath. I'm compressed everything right now. Okay? So I'm going to take this, I'm going to close it again. Now if I look at this, you can see right here is slightly taper, right? You can make a straight form and goes in, or you can kind of taper. Either way, we're going to do both. Yep. So I'm going to bring it in. And so now I'm going to slowly bring it in again one more time. Okay. At the very end, I'm going to close it. I'm going to seal it. I'm sealing the air inside. Now the air is helping me to shape, right? Because now I have air in it. I can push no matter what. It's not going to collapse because air is my resistance. Yes? Okay. Of course, it looks a little too big of a hump for a little jar. And what happens if you don't like it too much, too big? You know what? We'll let out the air a little bit, and then we push it again. And then your form will change. Yes, I'm going to do that again. Close it. Close it. Get rid of it. So this is called closed form. Okay, where's the little jar come from? That's where you need to go to a Panda Express. You get one of these chopsticks. Okay. See right here? This is exactly how I did right here. I push it in like that. So it depends on the height. So watch me. I'm gonna take this. Gonna wet it. I'm gonna come in. Depends on the height you want. You can use one or you can use two. I'm gonna go in right here. You can see it. I'm gonna go in, push it in. I'm gonna push in straight, not angle, yeah? Pushing it straight right here. I'm gonna go in. Can you see right there? And of course this mess, we're gonna wait until they dry, and then we'll trim it. Of course, right now, this, hypothetically, will they dry evenly? Probably not, because there's air trapped inside. Number two, when they dry, clay shrink. It's gonna burst any weak spot. Therefore, this is a time that you put a pinhole, and then you can put it on the bottom, you can put it on the top, depends on your decision of making. I'm gonna make it into a complex lid with a simple flange. What does that mean? That means this right here is a little edge, is a complex lid. With a simple flange, which is any cut that you made with the no edges, that's a simple flange. And so you need to have a complex lid with a simple flange together to make it into a lid jar. So I'm gonna leave it like that. And I'm not gonna cut it off, but I will kind of clear it in a little bit. I'm not gonna cut it. Sometimes I even mark it as, for example, this is the pin right here, right? Because sometimes I will mark it right here. That means when I put it down, this is gonna be towards me. If I do it this way, the other way could be because who knows what, your piece is warping and all that. Wow, that looks not too good. But that's okay, we're gonna do it again. One more time, taking this, put it down, okay? I'm gonna take a little 2 pounds clay. You can have a little less. I feel like that's a kind of big. So this time I'm gonna throw a little taller and then fold it in. One more time, center. keep scraping the clay up. Pushing too hard. Center. Well, open. Compress. Right here. I'm going to compress again. Okay. You don't have to use a wooden tool to compress. You can also use your hand or use a sponge. Okay. Now I'm going to color it. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. This time I'm going to have a taller. I'm going to come up. Because earlier I cut off a lot, right? So I'm going to do a little more higher. Higher. I'm going to go in. Again, how I go in, using a pinky, index, and thumb all together and bring them in. Okay? Now once I go in a little bit more, before I get away, I'm going to compress here. Because once you compress, once you close it, you can't really compress. So I want to do it here. I'm going to bring it right here. So can you see it's a little different shape. Earlier it was like a dome. This is now like almost like a little jar, right? So I'm going to do that. Compress here. Here's my definitions. I'm going to bring this in again. My finger, index finger inside. My thumb is outside, and then my pinky is holding it. So I'm doing one of these motions, this motion, to put everything in. I'm gonna do it. And then what? Speed up the wheel, right? I'm gonna do it right here. Can you make a lid on top? Probably. I'll get a little lid right here. Maybe this is look. Do it right here. Make sure compression is everything. If you don't compress your clay, how do you compress? Finger underneath. If you don't compress, it will collapse on you. So I'm doing the same thing to closing it. Now I make a little lid. Yes? I'm gonna do that. Now the air trap inside again, right? So I'm gonna compress it. Now I'm gonna take my chopstick again, gonna run it. If you don't want this tall, you can break it in half using one. So I'm gonna do it right here. Now I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna gently go in, just enough to catch both. Now I want to talk about simple lid and complex lid. Okay, I'll take this really quickly. This one, earlier I said this one is a complex lid because why? Has a little ledge. Yes? This is called simple lid because nothing. It's almost like your cookie jar, right? At home. So if you have a cookie jar like this, that means there's nothing underneath, it's flat, it's rested right here. That means you need a flange to rest your pieces in. Yes? So this is called simple lid. This is called complex flange. Okay, like gallery, whatever you are calling it. So go home, check out your flower pot and sugar pot. They will look like this, and this will put it on top. Yes? Another way is using a complex lid, which is a little flange, and then simple, complex lid with a simple flange. Yes? Are you confused? Can you see right here these two differences? Complex, simple. Yes? Complex with a simple. Simple with a complex. Can you put simple on simple? No, because they slide. But can you put complex on a complex? Yes, a lot of Yixing teapot are like that. They complex flange with a complex lid. And they are quite beautiful, quite beautiful. So that's how, this is another one. What is this? Complex lid with simple flange. Yes? Can you put simple? Can you put complex with a simple? Yeah, complex with simple. Perfect. Yeah? Okay. Now, I'm done here, but what I need to do is, don't forget what? Air vent. So this you can decide. If I put it on the bottom, my pinhole put on the bottom, that means I have a complex lid. Okay. Yes? If my pinhole put on the top, that means I have a simple lid, roughly, yeah? But you can always change it later. So one pinhole, get rid of that thing right here, just a little bit, and then cover, let them dry. And tomorrow, we'll cut this, and then we will show you how to do it. Yes? I probably should have it. Thank you.
So the question